What's up everyone, it's Gabby Trades here and welcome back to the channel. Will Trump's World Liberty Finance coin suck the market's liquidity, or do we have a bigger fish to fry? But before we dive in, you guys, as per usual, make sure to smash that like button. You guys subscribe. If you're new here, welcome, and hit the small bell so you never miss a breakdown here with me. Good morning everyone. We have Maro, Cloud Chaser, Diamond Eyes is super excited for the course launch. Me too, but I'll probably delay it this week as well because the market is really bad. We're going to look at that. Trevor is here as well. Freedom, Chiefy, Boruto, good morning, everyone. There is a little fly pet that I've been keeping in the house lately. So first we're going to start with over here, our favorite character of them all. You guys make sure to restart the chat box over here so I can see what you're saying. Good morning. Flying pet, yes I do, because I was taking care of this little kitty cat, if you remember, for like a month, and now she's gone and I'm completely devastated, so I'm keeping even a fly here in the house that I have. But anyway, so if you remember, you guys, we have this issue with the tariffs over here. So basically, court says that most of the Trump's tariffs are illegal, but they're staying for now. So basically what happened, for context over here, is now the U.S. appeals court ruled that most of the Trump's administration sweeping imports exceeded presidential authority. That's very important for us. So the court is currently letting the tariffs stay in place until 14th of October, while the administration is going to go ahead and appeal to the Supreme Court. Now, why do we care about that? Obviously, the tariffs are extra costs on imported goods. Now that's pressure on the company's margins and inflation. So the ruling adds that any policy uncertainty for global trade and U.S. manufacturers until October is going to be over here staying. And yeah, maybe beyond. We're going to see now. Sectors obviously to watch is going to be, you know, as per usual, like industrials, automobile industry, retailers, like importers, metals is going to be very important. And if we get any surprisal removal of that, you guys, that could mean that this is going to be disinflationary and risk on basically for the equities. And if we are getting a reinstatement of those tariffs or like a new structure, that could mean risk off. So this is very important for us to keep a track of over here. The orange man. Anyway, so we have another case over here that is really interesting to discuss, and that U.S. government shutdown risk is back on the table. So basically what happened? Well, Congress returns 30th of September with their funding deadlines approaching over here. It's very unclear if the Republicans and the Democrats can actually reach into a deal, into an agreement to avoid a shutdown. Now, these shutdowns won't usually crash the markets, but they will freeze the data releases and they will delay federal payments, which of course is going to add volatility. Now, usually there is going to be a risk-off environment into the deadlines. So, you know, small cap cyclicals can be underperforming if uncertainty rises in that case. Now, of course, the bond market is going to be interesting enough. We're going to be looking at the 10-year bonds. Like if they spike, this is also going to mean apparently for us risk off, not apparently, but as usual, risk off for us. But what is essentially a government shutdown? So basically the US is running on an annual budget that is passed by the Congress. What is the Congress? When the Congress is the House plus the Senate, and that is signed by the president. So if the lawmakers can't agree on spending bills by the deadline, which is 30th of September this year, many federal agencies must stop non-essential operations. So that essentially what that means. And essential services, that would mean like military, border control, social security checks. So that is going to continue, but hundreds and thousands of like government workers could be furloughed without pay. Now, why is this happening now? Well, because the House Republican and the Senate Democrats are fighting over spending and policy riders. So you're thinking about immigration, you're thinking about Ukraine aid, you're thinking about border security, etc., etc. So that is creating essentially a political standoff right now. So either they pass a continuous resolution or the government runs out of legal spending authority. So this is what's happening currently in the US right now. But overall, you guys, you remember we were looking at the VIX, right? And the VIX ticked into the long weekend, so it's ticking up. So after Friday, VIX moved up like 15, 16 points, and now that is like plus 6% in the mid teens over here. Now, why does the market care? The VIX is very important because if the VIX is higher, that means that option pricing in bigger daily swings are possible. And if VIX keeps climbing from low levels, equity will often pull back. And why is that? Because funds are going to start to hedge in those events. Another important thing to note is that today is Labor Day. So that means that the US markets are closed and we do have data heavy week ahead. So the New York Stock Exchange is going to be closed today, NASDAQ closed for Labor Day. So yeah, it's going to be the volatility driven week due to the events. Though we do have very important, we have ISM manufacturing PMI, JOLTS job openings, ADP non-farm employment change, ISM services PMI, unemployment claims as usual. Non-farm employment change is going to be very, very important. Now over here we have 74K forecast, and if we look at the data, I don't know if you guys can see very well, but we had a massive repricing over here, July 147, and then we went down to 14K, which was a massive repricing over here in this data. So that will be extremely important. So obviously we need to be looking at whether we're getting soft jobs prints, because that can boost rate cuts odds, and that would obviously mean a risk on for stocks and crypto. While if we get any hot reports on the wages or whatever, that can pull the yields up, which is going to mean, just like we said earlier, risk off for long duration tech and just the overall market. So yeah, we're looking for the risk appetite. We want to see softer jobs, so then we get the higher cut odds, obviously. And like we said, we have the tariffs uncertainties over here. The global, possibly the US shutdown is also on the table. So that is going to be really important to see if that happens, because if we get that, that might delay even CPA preparation works, you guys. So that's really important over here. Yes, you guys, make sure to smash that like button. Now, we're having a launch over here on the World Liberty Finance token over here. Now, this is happening like in the next 6 hours or so, and this is the chart. By the way, you guys you can trade that on Bluffin, and I have over here a new promotion for here. So if you deposit under the link in the description box, you know where the description box is of this video, but any deposits like in the futures trading account, so futures trading deposits for you guys within this period under my link, you can get 20% cash back on these trading deposits in your account over here after 16th of September. So between today and 16th of September, you literally get 20% cash back on any deposits that you make in your trading account on Bluff. And so for that, check in the description box, because you can also use that link to get into the VIP section of Discord. Let me show you real quick over here how you can do that. Hopefully we don't get any disgusting ads over here. No, not today. Not today. So over here in the description box, you can come. I need to change this title. I didn't change it, but whatever, the link is the same, and you can use that to get the VIP role on Discord, and also get on the trading course waitlist, because I'm going to release it this week or next week. We'll see, depending on how the market. I don't want to release the course in a bad market down environment, because I feel that's going to be bad energy. So you guys have more time to register for the trade course waitlist, where you're going to get prices that no one else is going to get. So make sure you do that. Okay, so over here, what can we say in regards to World Liberty Finance token over here? Well, we remember the Trump token launch, right? The meme coin. Well, basically, we have to be aware that the crypto money is like a pool. Now, think of the crypto money like a big swimming pool, right? So then when we have a big projects like World Liberty Finance that is launching, people will take buckets of water out of the pool. That means from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and they will pour into World Liberty Finance. So the water is in the pool. It's not going to be like growing. Instead, it's going to be in a way redistributing. Right. And because we have to think that the World Liberty Finance is branded with Trump's name, so that will grab the attention not just from the crypto traders, but also from Trump supporters and political investors in general. So that's why we need to be very, very careful, but also means that we could get fresh capital that could flow into World Liberty Finance as well, because, you know, a lot of people are supporting Trump, but they're not necessarily into crypto. So that could also mean it could be potentially good for us. But yeah, in general, if we get less liquidity, obviously liquidity is how much people are buying and selling. Like this is the buying and selling power available in the market. So if we get the liquidity drained into World Liberty Finance, other coins obviously are going to have less trading volume. We need to be aware of that stuff. So yeah, and that's another thing, right? If we get the liquidity suck over here, that could potentially happen. That is going to make easier for the other coins to be pushed around. Like prices can swing more wildly because there's going to be fewer buyers and fewer sellers left in the market if that happens. So we do need to be super aware of that, you guys. Let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen with the launch today? Are you planning to buy? I want to know the overall bias over here. I honestly, like, I have no idea what I'm going to do over here. I'm kind of scared of how this whole thing is going to play out. And looking at the chart, there isn't much data over here for us to make like informed decisions besides like a 4-hour bullish fair value gap over here that's currently holding, and prices, you know, trying to go back and retest it. Hello, Captain JJ. Course release ultimate reversal sign. No, yes, exactly. Ultimate reversal sign over here. Mark Bass thinks that it's going to bleed the market again, like the Trump coin. Yeah, so, you know, this is what we need to be. This is what everyone is kind of wary of, because we got burned one time before. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, honestly. Like, you guys, let me know. So we have Bitcoin up 1.1% on the day, Ethereum almost 2%, Solana 1%. Let's see what's happening. I see XRP almost 1%, near 2.2%. We're going to go ahead and see what's happening. First, we're going to start with Bitcoin. Starting off with Bitcoin on a Monday, 1st of September. What a date to start the month. Well, obviously trading, I don't care about this because my trading month starts from the second week of September over here. So let's have a look. First of all, you guys, most importantly, last week we were waiting for this liquidity to potentially be targeted. The liquidity is finally been targeted, right? It went off here. Like you're gonna see on different charts, like the liquidity slightly wicked or not, but the liquidity is overall taken over here. So that was exactly at 107,172. So now that we've wiped this liquidity, for me, that's honestly very, very good to see. Now, we do need to be aware of the fact that the standard deviation on a daily time frame from the beginning of when we became bearish on Bitcoin over here. Let's get rid of the sweep signals over here. The standard deviation, let's see if that's exactly what I'm looking at over here. Let's measure it together. Now, we're seeing that the liquidity was taken and price is bouncing back from the minus 1.5 development over here on the standard deviation. Now, we need to be aware that this is not a very likely scenario. So there is the one scenario that's more likely, in my opinion, is that price is going to drop to like at least the -2, which is 1.5.3 over here. And then potentially even to 103.7, because then we're going to get into literally this fair value gap over here. which is going to be also a very good zone for me. Now, mind you, price can wick through that level. So we can wick through that level in the first week of September. To me, that is going to be the ideal case scenario. I'm going to tell you why, you guys. I'm not going to leave you here dry like that. Of course, what we do over here, we're speculating. I just want to remind you that we're speculators in this market, right? Because there is different players in this market, and us trying to extract money as traders in the market without, you know, being institutionals, this is making us speculating traders. Like, we are speculators. We are not hedgers, right? The institutions are the ones that are hedging, and maybe also Wizard of Alt on our Discord. He's also a bit of a hedger because he goes and like trades Victoria's Secret stock before he goes and buys a gift for his girlfriend. Like, okay, that maybe, okay, he's hedging, but he's still speculating in that sense. So it's not a very good example, I guess. But most importantly, what I want to show you here, guys, okay? So according to my system, right? According to the system that I trade, that I'm going to teach you guys how to do. Again, this is literally the last week you have a chance to register in the trade course waitlist. Go ahead and register, because then I'm going to pump the prices super high, and that is going to be it, because I'm growing and the prices are going to grow with me. We have 53 people watching. I don't know how many likes we have, but we need to have a minimum of 50 likes over here. Going back to Bitcoin. So in my model, what am I looking at? I'm looking at a second week of September. Now, everyone is calling for a bearish month in September. And by the way, they have a lot of skin in the game. People that are saying that they have very good backing up data, results from years back, that I'm also looking at, of course, on a daily basis over here. You guys, wait. This I didn't prepare for you, but, you know, from my research, but I can pull it up right now and I can show it to you. Is this the chart that I want to show you, you guys? No, it's not going to be. Wait, I need to open a new window over here. Can you see this chart very well? I probably need to minimize a little bit more. So you can see. Anyway, so we're looking at S&P performance after a 12-month high is set in the last week of August. So basically, when we have a high set in August over here, this is data coming back from like 1951, you guys, by the way. So this is pretty much showing that, you know, not only for Bitcoin, not only for Ethereum, you know, the data is saying that September is usually a weak month, and it ends even for S&P 500 to some extent in the minus territory over here development. So we need to be aware of these data, and you know, we can't ignore the data, right? We can't ignore the data. We have to make sure that we're aware of that. Now, however, what I'm looking for here, and my overall plan for Bitcoin, you guys know very well, I'm expecting the last legs up in crypto in general to start developing from October. So that means October, November, December, January, the last quarter of this year, I'm expecting for the market to be going up. So with that said, that means that I'm expecting for the market to start trading up like very, very aggressively somewhere from mid of October. Why am I saying somewhere mid of October? Well, obviously, because for me, the month of October is going to start in the second week of October. So over here, September, I'm really expecting for price to reverse in the second week of the month. Like, I'm not expecting it for this week. A huge reversal maybe could happen, but I won't be very secure on it. So any trades I'm taking over here, I will be securing very, very well, because to be honest, I don't like the way price is trading right now, leaving double bottoms over here, being weak. Essentially, price is not very stable right now. We have more area to cover down, to liquidate more, and to reach our standard deviation levels before we get any reversals. But all I'm going to tell you, and here the data is going to tell you as well, every time we start the month as per my trading strategy, which is the second week of the month, you can see that price is reversing, right? Price is reversing. right? Price is reversing. So I'm going to expect over here exactly the same thing to occur. I'm going to expect for price to reverse in September to some extent, right? To some extent. So that would mean that whatever price could reverse, but it could still end low on September, like it's possible. So I'm going to be trading this as it goes day by day. You know, we have a very strong system to track the price week by week, day by day. Week by week, day by day. And you see this live with me every single time, how the areas are holding when they need to hold, right? So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin over here. As you can see, every time month is beginning, which is the second week of the month, price tends to reverse. So that's what I'm going to expect. So if price trades high up this week, if price trades high up, I'm going to be expecting for price to reverse to the downside, right? If price trades down this week, I'm going to expect a reversal to the upside. So basically, this is what I'm trying to say over here. All right, let's look at ETH, you guys. Well, if you're not part of Discord, make sure to come in the description box and become a part of our Discord, because you can get a VIP role very, very easily just by registering on Bluffin over here. You can also see the instructions on Discord, but that is where I give my trading plans, and whatever I do every single day is where you would get that. And of course, you get an amazing community, by the way, that some of them are even more experienced than me. So it's kind of really great what we have over there. So all right, Ethereum over here, basically we're into next week, so these levels don't matter anymore. The only reason, like, I mean these ones over here, the only reasons I keep these levels is to show you guys how to practice how price is reacting from these levels, and how these levels are very, very important. Again, I teach that in the course. Make sure you get on the wait list. So yeah, that's why I kept it here to illustrate, but obviously we're gonna get new data for this week and this month, which is going to be from next week. So true month, we can still keep that as support over here, which you can see it's holding quite perfectly, true month open. But obviously we're gonna get the true month open next week for September over here. So now we're currently into the month of August. That's how I view the charts. Now, you guys, very important to note, if Ethereum is looking strong over here, that's fine. It's looking great. I don't know what the 4-hour is saying. Let's open here the signals. Let's open the signals. Well, the signals are saying that this low might be targeted right now, but that setup is going to be invalidated soon as price trades above this fractal candle over here. So we're looking at this level 4498. So that will then be pretty much invalidated, right? That'll be invalidated over here, and then we'll need to wait for the second close here on the 4-hour to determine our bias. But one thing on the 4-hour time frame that's really, really nice for Ethereum is that we have the all-time high as liquidity, right? We saw that, and I'm going to refer again to this because it's very important. Now, why is this important? Because when you have a structure like this, which is triangular formation, if you want the indicators, go and get them. They are developed by the best indicator creators in the trading industry. They're called Lux Algo. You guys probably know about them. Hello, Andy. So yes, you have to pay a little bit because these guys develop the indicators, which is like $20 per month, but it's super, super cheap, and you get 3 of my main indicators that I use. And this is one of them, which is going to show you the major liquidations levels. So basically, 4-hour time frame is telling us that liquidity is going to be taken, and we're going to see new all-time highs. So if there is anyone telling you out there that the out season is done, that Bitcoin is done, whatever, they are most probably wrong, right? We're just speculating. We can't say nothing for 100%, but with the experience and with the indicators are telling us that new all-time highs on Ethereum are imminent. And by that, I'm going to explain to you right now how I use this triangular formation. So when we get a formation like this, you would be expecting this area over here. See, I'm moving it around so you can see it again. Anything in between this low right? This double bottom here on Ethereum is essentially a buy zone. So you can see how price came down to our buy zone into a true month open area, into a daily support area, and it bounced. Right? So this is exactly how we can trade these things. Now, the good thing over here is that even if we get furthermore momentum to the downside, we still know that we can find areas of support down here. So what am I looking at? Of course, first I'm going to be looking again at the daily support and resistance over here at 4,258, 4,232. And also, it is important to know that we have relatively equal lows over here that also could be targeted on Ethereum. Don't sneeze, don't sneeze. Big sneeze. Mara, yes, you're always welcome, dude, for coming into Discord. It's a great community. I love my community. So yeah, this is basically it. So I'm gonna tell you where the buy zone starts from. It starts from around 4,057 on Ethereum, and actually it starts from 4,300 and then it ends around 4,057 on ETH over here. So we should be maintaining that range. This is important to note. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so you know, you guys, I'm looking at the charts together with you beginning of the week. You guys know that Monday I'm usually not involved because we need to see the false move in the beginning, which might as well right now be to the upside, right? Might as well be to the upside, and then we can come down and retest those areas again. Благодаря, Станимир. So yeah, basically, let's have a look. Sol over here. Choo, you're probably getting confused around here. So maybe I'll keep it. Okay, I'll remove it so you don't get too confused. All right, so Solana, we have new range over here. This I haven't came to change, so that's the new range that we're trading right now. Beautiful, and we have a mini ranges as well, but so yeah, over here on the 4-hour time frame we had the liquidity sweep, so price is bouncing back from it. Daily time frame, very important to see. Over here we had a body close, so essentially Sol needs to hold this area right now as well, because over here we were what we really wanted is to get a body close above the sell zone over here, which now immediately is going to create this as create this as a zone that could hold, right? As a zone that could hold. Hold on, we're gonna delete this on a daily time frame, and we're gonna go ahead and draw our new zone. Buy breaker block. Buy breaker block. Okay, so that's on a daily time frame. So the zone is going to be, you need to be looking on a higher time frame. Okay, so this was 4 hour, now we're going to be looking on a daily, because daily is a higher time frame that we need to utilize in a situation where price is moving fast. So over here, this is the area on Solana that we need to be wicking and we need to be holding. So that area starts from $206 and ends at $193. That doesn't mean that price couldn't go down and wick that area up to like 190. Absolutely possible. But of course, this you coordinate with Ethereum, you coordinate with Bitcoin, and you wait for Monday to develop. You wait for the new, for the true month open to develop. But the idea is that this area on Solana needs to hold. Okay. Any questions, you guys? Any questions over here? And now is your chance, right? Now is your chance. But again, looking at Solana, this area is supposed to hold, and then we're gonna have to see price trade to 235 over here, because then that is when we're gonna face potentially another resistance over here from Sol. So 235, we have a massive sell zone over here. So in my mind, depending on how everything is trading, that's a massive zone. Opinions on September crash XXX. Well, welcome XXX. You're probably new here. I haven't seen you before. Do you need any referral code on Bluffin? We have a second question from Banak. No, Banak, we don't need, you can put Gabby, whatever, but also if you just open the link over here, it's gonna directly show you, like, let's open it together. So here you are, as soon as you see Bluffin X Gabby trades, that means that if you register over here, you're going to be under me. And if you're already registered on Bluffin, by the way, you can also send me your UID on Discord and I can make you a VIP if you already have an account. Like, you don't have to make a new one, just FYI. Okay, so thoughts on September. Like we said, right, we were looking at the S&P 500 performance over here. Usually when we make an all-time high in the last weeks of August, 12 times, usually we get 12 months, we get September being on the lower end. Does that make sense? So essentially, September is not supposed to be traditionally, it's not supposed to be a bullish month, right? But the way we trade, and I repeat over here, the true month open for me starts the second week of September, and in the second week of September I usually expect reversals. Does that make sense? You can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it here. These are all true month opens. You can see it here. You will probably see it in September as well. So if we're trading up, I'm going to expect for price to come down, and the reverse is true. If we're trading down, I'm going to expect for price to reverse higher, regardless of what the data is telling us. All right, Blair Cypher is here. Scottish Crypto Mafia supports Bluffin. Blair is here. Blair, by the way, we're waiting to see you over here. I'm not gonna say my location, but I know that you're coming soon to visit us, so I'm very, very excited to see you. Okay, I am late here. Can you please share about your thoughts about World Liberty Finance and how to get one on spot? Well, you can trade it on Bluffin. So feel free to go and like and get it on Bluffin. But the chart looks absolutely horrible right now. Like, if we pull the daily time frame, we can see that we have a wick fill over here. To the very least, like, I'm seeing it trade like to the wick fill, which is the 50%. So that we haven't reached. So essentially, the way I'm looking at these wicks right now is all of this over here. All of these wicks over here are liquidity right now, right? So that's without my indicators, just general market knowledge. Overall, this is going to be liquidity. So once we reach over here, potentially this level, 0.4261, this is what I'm going to be watching for. It's going to be important if price comes and wicks that level, and then we close above this level. That is going to be indicative to me that the price is weak. And to be fair, on the 12-hour time frame, absolutely nothing. Just some bullish fair value gaps over here. Okay, fine, great. They're being respected at the moment. So potentially you have a chance maybe to long it from here to here. But then anything above that, I cannot be sure for a fact, because this is the 0.5 of the daily wick over here, and you can see the rejection with these two candles as well. So if that area is broken, I'm going to consider now that what is more probable is for this high to go, right? If we see a body close above specifically the 0.5 of which is the equilibrium of the wick over here. So that's a 0.42. Does that make sense? Yeah, it goes live in about 6 hours, whatever. So that's the thing, you guys, right? So if we get a rejection over here, I'm going to consider this a little bit bearish. If we get a nice body close above 0.42, I will be targeting now this high of the week, not the wick, the wick, at 0.5507. Does that make sense? So yeah, it is very possible that you know, this is going to suck the liquidity of the market as well. So be aware if that happens. Yeah. Okay. Lulu. Sui and say, please. Begging you, Gabby. Look at Sui and say. We can look at Sui. Let's get rid of all the indicators over here. I mean, not a bad reaction. What did we say last week, you guys? What did we say last week? What did we say last week about all the coins? This is what I said to you, right? You have the range. You want price to exit clearly to the downside. You want a clear exit, which essentially you have with this candle. So probably distribution upside now. Most likely. But you have to also be aware that you haven't really reached the buy zone over here. So if price starts dropping now on Bitcoin or whatever, we might come down to this buy zone, 2.9, right? And we have a 12-hour support at 2.8 in case things get really shaky. But this is the area over here for SUI, right? This is the area. In case we go down, it is possible that this could be it, right? It's very possible that it could be it. We never know. We can only speculate. Yeah, because right now essentially it's just into a fair value gap, SUI, right? It's just into one of 3 fair value gaps right now. But do you have a buy zone here? Not really. So that is not very much supported price action. Do you get that? So this is not supported. That means that there is probably going to be another drop. Another drop over here. So like the rotation over here, looking at this price, could pretty much happen within this area. That will be a healthy rotation for short continuation. Up to this level 2.9, because that is where you have the order block, and that is where you have more fair value gaps over here. 12-hour support. So it's a lot of areas for me to be more looking into this area over here. So yeah, it could be really a trapping situation right now. It could be a trapping situation where you come up, they trap you, or we could even come up and retest the 12-hour support / resistance over here at 3.5 and then send it back lower. This is also possible. But don't forget, I don't trade Monday, right? I don't trade Monday. Why? Well, because there is always a false move that is going to trap you, that is going to trigger you to get into a position that is most probably going to get wiped. Now, the first week of September is usually the exact same as Monday. So you're looking at a Monday as a trap day, and you're looking at the first week of a month as a trap day as well. So it's very important, you guys. Yes, make sure to hit the like button. And we're going 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes now here. So we're going to close it like that today, and we're going to see each other tomorrow, where we're going to have the true week open after Monday has played out, and then we can get potentially a little bit more setups. All right. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Make sure to leave a comment below this video and share the video. By the way, you can share the video, like if you have any friends or whatever, I don't know, share the video so then more people can see us. So then we're where to send the UID. Banak, you need to come on Discord, and there is like a bot on Discord where you can send your UID, and it's going to automatically reward you with your VIP status. And like I said, if you deposit any future bonus, any future trading funds in, even if you're a new trader, even if you're already registered on my link, from now on, whatever you deposit, it's only for the first 100 users. Bear in mind, only for the first 100 users. Okay, and make sure to register for the course waitlist, because I'm going to drop that next week or something, depending on how the market is looking, you guys. Happy September. Let's get ready for Christmas type of vibes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. All right, wait. Blair. Gabby, can you look at microcap SSX Solana stock index? Not sure. I'm just interested in your opinion. Wait. Let's have a look for Blair over here. Blair is our biggest donator. Blair gave us $100 here live with us. So we have to look at that. If I can find that, can I find it on TradingView? Blair? SSX. All right, let's have a look. Solana stock index. Oh, it's looking great. It's looking absolutely amazing. It's looking great. So first of all, Blair, if you don't have my indicators, go and get them made. It's fine. No, we can look it over here. It's okay. So yeah, it looks really good. 12 hour is pretty much indicating that this is going to explode any minute and come above 0.00574. So make sure you have this in mind. Let's have a look at the daily over here. Daily is looking fine. It's maintaining good rotation over here. So let's have a look lower time frame if we can find something. So on the lower time frame, essentially you're having some support over here at 0.001773. That's good for our time frame. And if you're looking at a higher time frame, the ultimate support is going to be down here. So essentially anywhere between these two levels, anywhere between 0.001773 and 0.000901, this is going to be like a buy zone over here. It's going to essentially play out as a buy zone. Let's see if we can draw it together. Can we draw it? So this is going to be like a mini buy zone over here, starting from a little bit higher than the current liquidity. Let's pull out the rest of the indicators, see what's the vibes over here. Okay. So there is essentially a sell setup within a buy setup as well, just like everything in the market, but you're looking for essentially for price to hold somewhere here. And you know, if you're holding that, I'd say it's looking good because the 12 hour is suggesting that price is going to come up and take that, right? And essentially also you're creating higher highs. Okay, maybe you have a lower low here, but you still have a higher low that's created over here, so that's good. You know, if you're in, you're in. If you're not in, you know, if you're in, probably it's good to secure. I would probably secure if I'm in, and then if price drops, I'll be looking to add like around 0.01773. Does that make sense, Blair? Yes. All right, good stuff. Well, thank you so much for being here, you guys. Same thing. I shall see you in the next one.